This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And a good Friday afternoon. We are back with the Wyoming Sports Talk Today after taking yesterday off. And let's tell you that our program today is being brought to you by Taco John's. Today it's Tres de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo celebration going on all the way through Sunday. Get 5 tacos, $5 right now over at Taco John's of Cheyenne. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, your exclusive home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Find the special RV today from Jayco. Maybe it's a 2018 model. You're going to find some special pricing. You're going to find special financing deals on the 2019 model year Jayco's today at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, where they are serving up 3 squares Monday through Saturday. And today they got another special promotion going on Friday, right here. Sports Jersey Day, what Nick is wearing right now, what I'm wearing.
What was that?
I had a burp. I'm sorry. Had a bubble come up. 8-count chicken nuggets all day by going in there with your sports jersey over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. Tomorrow it's Superhero Day, so you'll get a small ice dream cup or cone all day long by wearing your superhero.
And why are they doing this over there at Chick-fil-A?
Because they're celebrating their 4th anniversary. It's anniversary week all week this week at Chick-fil-A, corner of Windmill and Del Range. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations for you at the corner of College and Pershing, the original location on Vanda High. Medicamp Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. We also want to thank Lennox Auto Body, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. For a quarter century, founded by Dick Lennox and the tradition carried on by his daughter Heather, they have brought to us the premier body and repair shops here in Cheyenne. We also want to thank First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Mondello's Pizzeria, 7 days a week. Paisan cuisine at its best at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Mars Plumbing and Heating on the job 24/7 at 1515 Logan Avenue. We get things underway with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
Regarding this weekend for Cheyenne South, at least girls soccer, due to injuries with the JV squad, at least games happening today. At least we'll get underway still at the approximate time of 4 o'clock, but will be shortened due to at least it'll be a condensed game due to the lack of numbers. But again, just giving an update where at least JV will still play at 4 o'clock. It'll be a shortened game, and then the varsity for Cheyenne South over there will get started at 5:30. So that little update from AD Mark Puev. NHL action for tonight. Carolina Hurricanes at home. They will take on the New York Islanders, where the Hurricanes lead 3-0 in that series. You can see that game on NBC Sports Network. And right after that game wraps up on NBC Sports Network, St. Louis Blues at home. They will take on the Dallas Stars, where that series is tied up 2-2. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
Major League Baseball game going on right now. Matter of fact, it's a final out of Wrigley Field where the Cubs win. They beat the Cardinals 4-0 today. Game's getting away in the 5 o'clock hour. Twins at the Yankees. The Swingin' A's will be in Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates at PNC. Rays and the Orioles at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Nationals and the Phils at Citizens Bank Ballpark. It will be the Royals and the Tigers at Comerica. M's will be at Cleveland to face the Indians at Progressive Field. Braves will be in Miami taking on the Marlins. Giants will head to Great American Ballpark to face off with the Cincinnati Reds. Blue Jays, Rangers in the 6 o'clock hour from Texas. It will be the Red Sox and the White Sox over at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. Also in the 6 o'clock hour, the Brewers hosting the Mets. Diamondbacks and the Rockies at 6:40 tonight at Coors Field. It will be Tyler Anderson towing the rubber for the Rocks. He'll be opposed by Robbie Ray. And the late-night contest from Petco will have the Padres entertaining the Los Angeles Dodgers. On to the NBA hardwood. Games that will be taking place tonight. Well, these will be Game 3s. The Bucks and the Celtics will hook up at the TD Garden, with that series knotted up at 1 game apiece. And we move to the Moda Center for the Denver Nuggets and the Trailblazers at 8:30 tonight, as that series also notched at 1 game apiece in this best-of-7. Scoreboard this afternoon brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, Tea Master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes in.
Cheyenne's low price leader. Family owned and operated, Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company offers many different types of rock, stones, boulders, and other decorative products that make a perfect addition to your yard or landscape. You'll find river rock, flagstone, lava rock, pavers, along with compost, mulch, and a lot more. So stop into Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company today to find out what will be best for improving your front or backyard. A family tradition since 1977, Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company, open 7 days a week, all season long, on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
In order to improve yourself, it's important you never settle for less. Just like Cinco de Mayo at Taco John's. You can get 5 soft-shell tacos for just $5 for 5 whole days. Why settle for one Cinco de Mayo when you can have Cinco de Mayo?
Celebrate 5 days of Cinco de Mayo at Taco John's with 5 beef soft-shell tacos for just $5. Get 5 beef soft-shell tacos for just $5 for 5 days from May 1st through the 5th. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Join in for a festive evening of fun, food, and a live auction in Cheyenne on Monday, May 6th at the historic Little Bear Inn, which is sponsoring the Love Never Forgets Gala to benefit the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. The event is being held to support the services provided on behalf of the nearly 30,000 Wyomingites affected by this relentless form of dementia. For more information, call the Alzheimer's chapter at 316-2892. That's 316-2892. Or visit First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue for your tickets. Remember, at First Tier Bank, you'll find the best rate on a 27-month CD with a 3.10% annual percentage yield.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 60 and winds out the northwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 33. On Saturday, it'll be sunny with highs around 66. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 37.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti, along with Nick Proetti, and we bring on our first guest who has been with us on a few times, Kevin McGlue, the voice of the Colorado Eagles, whose voice is silenced right now because the season for the Eagles is officially over. But, Kevin, it is nice to have you back on our program. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Kevin, let's, in a capsulized version, let's go through the opening round of the playoffs with the Bakersfield Condors. And again,
a top-seeded Pacific Division-winning Bakersfield team. Again,
we knew this was going to be a rough and tough series. First two were in Loveland, and then, we didn't make it to 5, but the Condors, they proved to fit the bill.
Oh, absolutely, and I think you look first and foremost at making the playoffs for 16th straight year in 3 different leagues, and I know that everybody was very, very happy to see that happen, especially the first year in the AHL to make the postseason when there were a lot of good teams that didn't play in the playoffs this year. So again, you always want to go out and gun for a championship, but to be able to make the playoffs, I think is a great feather in the cap for this team and what they were able to accomplish this year. And as you had said, you got the first 2 games at home. You played really well in both games. You got one of those 2, and then you're able to make it to a case where you get to Bakersfield for the final 3. And it's interesting, you're down 2-1 in that series, and you look at Game 4. Colorado played a really, really good game there. They were very physical. They dictated a lot of the tempo in the first 2 periods. They took a 2-1 lead into that third period, and looked like maybe they were going to force a Game 5. But like you said, Bakersfield, it's a team that. There's a reason why they won the Pacific. They have a lot of depth. They have a lot of scoring. It's a very quick team with outstanding goaltending, and specialty teams was the difference in that third period, and that kind of pushed them along to that victory in that game and in that series.
So after this first round where Bakersfield does move on, they'll see the San Diego Gulls coming up in the AHL playoffs. But as you talk about for Colorado Eagles, again, 16th straight year making it to the playoffs, kind of a stepping stone, so to speak, for the Colorado Eagles as they move up, obviously, this season up to the AHL, being that AAA team for the Colorado Avalanche. But again, how big of a step was it for the Colorado Eagles to at least get into the playoffs in their first year, to at least, as we're so used to them winning cups, at least down in the ECHL, but I mean, how big of a stepping stone was this to make it into the playoffs in their first year of the American Hockey League?
Yeah, I think it was huge. And again, you had 15 really good teams across the league who didn't make the playoffs this year, and there were some good teams in the Pacific Division that didn't make the playoffs this year. So for Colorado, it's a very big deal for them to get into the postseason in their first year. You look at Colorado in the AHL. They developed some really good players, but as far as getting to the postseason, I believe it was 8 years since the Avalanche's AHL affiliate had qualified for the playoffs. So the Eagles were able to come out and do that in the first year that the affiliation shifted here to Loveland. So, I think that's a good thing for the organization as a whole, all the way up to the NHL team. That you're not only developing some good players that are going to help you out in the NHL, but you're winning hockey games. You had 21 wins at home this year. So again, that's indicative of how good the home ice advantage is here at the Budweiser Event Center, and I think that's something that's going to continue forward, and certainly has continued through 16 years.
As you talk about the NHL, or at least with the Colorado Avalanche, they're doing obviously pretty well right now. Second round playoffs for them as they compete against the San Jose Sharks. But, you look at this year's Colorado Eagles squad that competed in this season, in this playoffs. Obviously a lot of shifting during this regular season to move on up or move on down between the Colorado Eagles and the Colorado Avalanche. But for next season, looking forward for the Colorado Eagles, how different of a lineup do we kind of anticipate for the Colorado Eagles, or with the success that the Avalanche are having with the pieces that are on that team, do we see a whole lot of shifting for at least for the starting lineup day one, game one of next year's season?
Well, I think first and foremost you look at contracts that are going to be up, and between the Avalanche and the Eagles, there are a lot of guys right now who have to be re-signed before the start of the year next year, and whether they're signed here again with the Avalanche or with the Eagles, or they go elsewhere, those contracts are up. And so, again, I think there's decisions to be made. I think at both levels, just like every other team, you want to get better. You want to bring in pieces that maybe you feel like you need, or maybe you're missing in depth. So I think that's going to be something that is the priority number one. You start with guys like Mikko Rantanen, and you kind of work your way backwards from there. So, I think for the Colorado Eagles, you have guys that have proven that they have the ability to play at the NHL level. I think guys like Pavel Francouz and Logan O'Connor in their first year here with the Colorado Eagles, and for O'Connor's first year pro, goes out, scores 19 goals as a rookie. And guys like that, I think, have made a case for themselves. I think next year you're going to see guys like Shane Bowers and Nick Henry play a bigger role with the Eagles and maybe get a chance to showcase what they can do with the Avalanche. So, I think for every team, you're going to have some consistency, but you're going to see movement, and you're going to see, I think, a spike in the fact that you might go out and get some free agents and some free agents who have been through this building and been through Colorado and seen how special a place this is to play, and to see that this was a franchise that had 12 different guys who played for the Eagles play for the Avalanche just this season. So there's opportunity that's out there, and I think those are things that can help you, try to lure some of those free agents that could help you out.
With the Colorado Avalanche, as Nick mentioned, in the second round right now with the San Jose Sharks, and again, series knotted up at 2 apiece. Let me ask you this question. With the season being over for the Eagles right now, if necessary, can any call-ups be made?
Well, what we do have is right now you have several black aces. Those are the guys that will go up and skate with the team that spent the majority of this year with the Colorado Eagles. So you see guys like A.J. Greer and Dominic Toninato, Anton Lindholm, Pavel Francouz, Logan O'Connor. Those guys are up there right now. They're with the Avalanche. They'll skate. They'll take part in a lot of the team drills that go on there and the team situations and meetings. And, if need be, they can be inserted in the lineup. And I feel like those are guys the Avalanche feel comfortable with. If you had to put them in a really meaningful playoff game, you've seen that they can play at the NHL level and do so very, very well. So, you're going to have at least 5 or 6 guys up there that are going to be in, let's say, the well that you could draw from.
Kevin McGlue joined us, voice of the Colorado Eagles. And again, Kevin, you were with this team all season long from beginning to end. And I guess you would be the man that we would try to get the report card from on first-year head coach Greg Cronin. 36-27-4, the overtime loss. So, again, 77 points for the Eagles in this being the AAA franchise of the Colorado Avalanche. So, again, you were there. So, your assessment of first-year head coach Greg Cronin.
Yeah, you know what? I thought for the coaching staff, it was tremendous in the fact that, here you are, you're really essentially in year one of this franchise being in the AHL, and a lot of the guys who were with San Antonio last year, and that was a split affiliation between the Avalanche and St. Louis. You lost a lot of those guys, so they didn't necessarily carry over when you picked up and moved the franchise here to Loveland. So, you had to look at what you had. You had to assess it. You did have a lot of youth on this team, and I thought they did a pretty good job balancing that all out. And you were in a good division in the Pacific, so you faced really good teams night in and night out, and that included teams that didn't even make the playoffs. Teams like Tucson and Stockton that I thought were quality clubs that that certainly gave Colorado everything they could handle, and you still were able to come out on the other side making the playoffs. So, I think that, along with the fact that again, it's a developmental league where I know the Avalanche want to see guys groomed to be able to play for their club in the NHL. And again, when you see 12 guys, making that jump back and forth and to be able to play in the NHL and play for the Eagles, I would say that they were very, very pleased with that. Now, that being said, I know that the coaching staff feel like, hey, we want to win. We want to be in the second round, the third round of the playoffs. But, for year one, I think everybody is pretty darn happy with what they saw in terms of results, not only here, but those guys flowing to the Avalanche.
If that's coach's wishes for next season to move on to the second, third round, or even possibly even hoisting that Calder Cup for the Colorado Eagles next season, I mean, just kind of look into your crystal ball there, Kevin, and look at what do the Eagles need to do, or at least what needs to change or alter in this offseason to get Colorado to that next level, so to speak, next year, whether it is defense, offense, what do they need to address?
Well, I think there's a few questions that are going to pop up just by necessity, and that is the fact that you're going to have the draft coming up, and you look back a year ago, the draft, Colorado's first pick was a guy that spent a lot of time playing for the Colorado Eagles this year in Martin Kaut. So you don't know. Whoever you get there could be a guy that spends a lot of time here next year and maybe really bolsters this team. But you look at the need-based side of things, I think for Colorado, there's a good chance you're going to need to find some goaltending, because I think there's a good chance that Pavel Francouz is going to be in the NHL next year for the entirety of the season. I also think that for Colorado, you got to find some offensive weapons. That's something that Greg Cronin talked about all year long, is just we're not able to produce enough scoring on a consistent basis particularly on the power play. And that's an area where, the Eagles finished dead last this year on the power play, and they want to be better. They have to be better. And that's a difference of several wins over the course of a season. If you can even improve that by, let's say, 8-9%, to be able to ramp that up by that kind of number, all of a sudden you might be looking at another 7-8 wins, and you're maybe into the second round. So, I think they want to bring in some complementary pieces offensively, but you could be looking for goaltending, and you had a really good one this year in Pavel Francouz. But like I said, I think he could be in the NHL full-time next year.
Final thought from me, Kevin. Thank you again for joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Being the owner of this company, I also am a numbers guy, and again, you representing the Colorado Eagles, being there every night in the Budweiser Event Center. You take a look above, and you see a lot of fannies and seats, but from the whole season in general, we're ownership very happy with the attendance again for Colorado Eagles hockey.
Oh, tremendously happy. Absolutely. Very, very much so. And that was reflective of just what you saw night in and night out. And, I think that the fans really appreciated the quality of play that they saw, the speed and the skill that was out there. And I thought that was something that made them want to come back and see more of it. And then when you see guys who are, being called up, all of a sudden they're going to, for most fans here, your favorite NHL team with the Avalanche. So you're able to track them and watch them on TV and head down to the Pepsi Center and watch them. So, I think it's been a tremendous affiliation and a great partnership. And, from a standpoint of attendance and the things that you look for as let's say, an owner, I think they were very, very happy with how everything went this year. And again, you look at it as something to build upon starting next year.
And speaking of next year, it'll be here before you know it. We're going to be looking forward to chatting with you again for the upcoming 2019 and 2020 season. Nick, go ahead.
Absolutely. So, again, well, thank you at least for joining us here today, Kevin, again, and looking forward to at least talking more Colorado Eagles coming up once we get into the regular season coming up.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. Thanks so much.
All righty. Kevin McGlue joined us here, the voice of the Colorado Eagles, as the Eagles season wrapping up earlier this week against the Bakersfield Condors as they go 1-3 in that best-of-5 series. So, again, making the playoffs their first year as a AAA affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. We'll be back after we take a timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
Are you tired of paying ATM fees? Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank in Cheyenne. Use your Platte Valley Bank ATM or Visa debit card at any ATM anywhere. We won't charge you a fee on our end, and we'll reimburse any fee you incur at any other ATM. That's right, no ATM fees at Platte Valley Bank. How about that? Platte Valley Bank, 3310 North College Drive and 421 Band High Avenue, or pvbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Perotti inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Once again, thank you to Kevin McGlue joining us here on the program to kick things off. Let's see. This just in. Cheyenne South High School is pleased to announce that Charissa Applehunt will be leading the Bison as the next head volleyball coach next year. Coach Applehunt will replace Andy McKinney, who stepped down after 6 years in the same position. Charissa was an assistant volleyball coach for the Bison last year and has also been an assistant at Central High School. She is originally from Rawlins and played volleyball at LCCC.
Yeah.
So Coach Applehunt and her husband, John, have two children. I hope I say this right, Aaliyah and Delilah. Aaliyah's 2 and Delilah's 10 months. And according to Mark Puev, we are extremely happy with Coach Applehunt coming on board to lead the Bison volleyball program in the future. So, again, the future is next season for South High.
Really? Anyways, at least new hiring there for Cheyenne South. Also, too, around the same vein of at least new head coaches. Well, up in Casper, especially in Region 9 for men's basketball, with the Casper College Thunderbirds, nationally ranked team, had a special season this year. Again, few special seasons under head coach Dan Russell. Well, he is stepping away from the program as he will take an assistant coach job at Montana State. So he'll go from the ranks of NJCAA Region 9 up to NCAA Big Sky, as he'll become an assistant coach with the Montana State Bobcats up there. So more moves happening in Region 9 basketball, more reason, or at least to kind of get excited, especially here in town with LCCC basketball and one head coach Jason Ficca, where your two foes of Sheridan and Casper, who were two nationally ranked programs, along with losing a lot of players to graduation, or at least kind of getting signed and picked up out of the JUCO ranks, now without their head coaches as well. So we'll see what happens there. But at least on the same vein of head coaching, at least movement, at least here in the state of Wyoming and Region 9, that does affect LCCC. Again, Casper College is the other school right now that is looking for a new head coach.
And we know that those programs are pretty decent year in, year out. But again,
Casper is pretty consistent.
Yeah, but there is disruption, though. Again, you have to.
Well, this is big disruption for both.
Yeah, you have to sign up a new head coach, and again, you have to finish up your recruiting. Again, as we had Jason Fick on here, was it last week? Or a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago. They're not officially done. There's still, a couple, offers that have been tendered that haven't been responded.
Well, and again, those offers can also, too, go away at any point in time, where you hear it all the time, especially the NCAA ranks of, oh, well, I signed on for this head coach. Well, he's not there anymore. Well, I'm not going to go then. I'm going to find other opportunities. So we'll see if those commits up to Sheridan, else to Casper, do they decommit or do they stick with the program? Again, as they are looking for head coaches right now for the Generals and also, too, for the Thunderbirds. So we'll see.
And nothing has been decided, especially at Sheridan. This is just news here out of Casper today. So, and again, you'll
came out yesterday, but
you'll look down the bench first and see if your assistant is ready to take over that position. I would assume Sheridan's also, in addition to interviewing other staff.
As I say, I think Sheridan and Casper, especially on the JUCO ranks, even here in the state of Wyoming, are definitely two attractive positions to at least be a head coach at, just barring off of, what the program's history are. Sheridan, with them being a top 25 program, making it to the national tournament. Casper, where even if you go to the Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, they got banners all over the place of men's basketball, of just how well they've done in the region, how
dominant they
are, how good they are, again, how prestigious of a program it is. So, again, it's two very attractive, at least, entities here in the state of Wyoming and Region 9 that's going to catch the eyes of probably a lot of good, talented head coaches, or at least coaches that want to be to at least have that opportunity to take over that position.
Well, yeah, and again, this is not a step down, obviously, job. It's a step up job. So again, whoever maybe want to leave the high school ranks, don't know.
Yeah,
we have no idea. And again, I'm sure Casper probably already has a short list. Available. You usually do in these kind of situations that there's a short list available.
Yeah, because I think on top of whatever your staffers are, or at least assistant coaches, maybe that's an option. Again, would not doubt that they already have kind of in mind of who they want to go after, or at least who they want to interview. But also too another at least news worthy, at least. What happened up at least in Gillette on the women's side of things, we internally knew about this, but with the Lady Pronghorns, they're looking for a new head coach as well too. They're in the process of hiring for the Lady Pronghorns as their head coach did also too step down as something that we had a good understanding that was going to happen, but it came out official. I do believe either yesterday or a few days ago that,
and he'd been there a long time. So many victories.
So again, right now in Region 9, we got a lot of movement, a lot of new faces to expect on both men and women's basketball for next season.
So let's go back to hockey since we had Kevin on, and let's take a look back at last night. And we'll start with the Avalanche because
I was going to say on hockey as well, too. If you have not seen on the social media side, whether it is on Twitter at Nick Wild Sports or on our Facebook page, Wyoming Sports Talk Today, at 4 o'clock, at least 4:10 after our sports scoreboard and all the at least sponsor reads, we will also, too, do want to let folks know that we will have an important announcement regarding Cheyenne Stampede. So we do recommend for folks to tune in, again, around 4:10, just after we're done with our sports scoreboard. We'll have a very important thing to at least talk about and release to the at least city of Cheyenne.
And speaking of Reed, you said sports reads. We'll have Reed Thompson in, who's now the assistant coach for the
former player.
For the Mustangs. He will be in representing the Mustangs, talking about their upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
And again, kind of capsulizing what's going on with the program right now. Again, still waiting on their head coach.
Well, he's going to be here this month, at least late May.
As soon as playoffs are done.
Yeah.
All right, so back to hockey with the Avalanche.
They tie things up, which is good. They
were impressive last night.
In a do-or-die situation last night where you couldn't afford to be 3-1 down heading back to San Jose. Well, they took care of business. Again, just got the sweep, or at least not the sweep, but the shutout against the San Jose Sharks there at the Pepsi Can, and tie up the series 2-2 heading back to San Jose. I still don't feel comfortable for Avalanche now heading back to the Shark Tank.
Best 2 out of 3, both 2 of them will be in the tank, and 1 of them will be in the Pepsi Center. But if the Avs can get the performance that they did out of Grubauer again last night, and again,
if you could get repeat performances.
No, but I mean he was just a warrior between the pipes last night. McKinnon, and again, as much as they were selling him on the NBC, this wasn't altitude. This was NBC. As much as they were selling McKinnon, he lived up to the billing last night as well.
Well, he has to, again, as he is the kind of captain of the team. Again, an all-star selection for the Colorado Avalanche. Again, he is the face of the franchise at this point in time. But you talk about Grubauer, 32 saves. Again, did not allow one as they got the 3-0 shutout win. You give credit to Grubauer, but also to the defense for the Colorado Avalanche of just basically slowing down this juggernaut that is the San Jose Sharks. That they know how to score. They know how to put offense on at least whoever they're facing off, whether it was Vegas or now Colorado. But defense was just shut down. They were lights out for Colorado. You need that now to continue on in San Jose if you want to have a shot there at the Shark Tank. But again, you couldn't play that was probably your most perfect game you could probably play for the Avalanche.
And again, you can lose at the tank. There's nothing wrong this weekend by losing. You're going to be down 3-2. You still have.
You can't afford it.
No, it's not recommended. Let's put it that way. But again, it won't kill you if you lose. You can technically rally and win 2 in a row.
Yeah, but Colorado is San Jose has already gotten one in the Pepsi Center. They know how to win in Denver.
So have the Avs. They won in the tank.
I'm just saying right now it is either team clearly does not want to lose in San Jose. it's not beneficial for one or the other, or at least where, okay, you feel more at ease if San Jose loses at home or Colorado loses, they're on the road. It's not a great scenario either way. For instance, again, if Colorado does go down 3-2, that's even going back to Denver, though, you feel a little bit okay, at least some at ease.
Your
but
backs are up
it's
against the wall.
It's not ideal because San Jose's already proven that they can beat you in the Pepsi can. They could beat you in the Pepsi Center, and you don't want this team to have any momentum. We've seen them where they go on streaks, and they can win back-to-back the games, and it doesn't even matter if it's in San Jose or wherever they're at.
You know, watching that game last night, especially with the Sharks, it's hard to describe how they played last night, but it was almost like they were just totally not in sync. And not the 3 goals by the Avs, because the Avs didn't score in the first period. They scored their first goal early.
I don't think San Jose was out of sync. I think it was just Colorado overall just playing great hockey. I think they played a perfect game.
They played a lot.
And again,
of
I give credit to the defense. Yeah, at least puck handling was phenomenal for the Avs. I think it wasn't anything against San Jose. I think it was just Colorado showing up and playing very good hockey. They proved that they were the better team last night, and it's something where. Do I anticipate this repeat performance in Game 6 on the road? I just don't see it, or at least, Game 5. But I don't see it. But if they can do it again, you got to feel confident that the Colorado Avalanche have a good shot to make it to the Western Conference Final.
This team has risen up many times, and
same as San Jose.
Well, no,
same as the
Sharks.
Sharks.
I'm not selling the Sharks short at all.
Again, you can't deny that they were down 3-1 against Vegas and managed to get 3 in a row. With one including in Vegas. So I do not write off either team at this point. Game 5 is crucial. I think Game 5 in San Jose is going to determine who's moving on to the Western Conference Final.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple as that. I think this one.
You don't give a puncher's chance to the winner of St. Louis Dallas.
What do you mean?
Well, you said moving on to the finals, the winner of this series.
Western Conference Final again. If I didn't specify for you, but for San Jose, again, if they go up 3-2, I think they can get it done in Game 6 at the Pepsi Can. Colorado, hey, bonus if you get it done in Game 5. I think absolutely that carries on, and you can definitely you have a chance to wrap up the series at home in front of that fan base that's going to get loud and passionate for you. This series, I don't anticipate will go 7. It'll end 6.
I still
and whoever wins Game 5 is going to move on and at least compete in the Western Conference Final.
All right. Well, I had Game 7 for these two teams. Dallas, St. Louis. That's turning out to be a pretty doggone series. Columbus and Boston last night, and then we'll take a break after that. Bruins, well, they drew even. They picked up a much-needed road win, 4-1, as they'll head back to the TD Garden. Hard to handicap it.
I figured Columbus would have won that game last night, but Boston is not going away. So, what do you make of this series at this point? Who is the better team? You really, it is a flip of the coin. That might be going 7 games. Now with Columbus heading back to Boston, they've already taken care of business in TD Garden. They can certainly win out there. I really don't know. I don't know who it favors at this point. Could Columbus win on the road? Absolutely. Could Boston win at home? Absolutely. Right now, something would tell me that Blue Jackets, as much as in franchise history, we're getting past, at least for them, this is new territory for them. We're again in the second round. They got their first ever at least franchise playoff series win against Tampa Bay, and that was a sweep. But for these playoffs, though, this is where they got to be competitive. And I wonder right now if Columbus kind of ran into a brick wall that is the Boston Bruins and also Tuukka Rask out there of, what do we do in this scenario? We're not used to losing. How do we come back? Can Columbus come back and win Game 5 in Boston?
They seem to be road warriors, so I mean the road has not bothered Columbus at all in this series. All right, we'll take a timeout. We're going to kind of highlight and feature the 2 games that are on the slate for tonight. One series could be history after this evening. We'll be back after these words on 1480 KRAE.
We're starting our 14th year, and we still believe in putting you first by making it easy to own a new Kia vehicle. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and right now, we can help get you into a new 2019 Kia Sportage for less than Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, or Ford Escape. The 2019 Kia Sportage comes standard with power adjustable rear view mirrors, rear camera display, remote keyless entry, and more. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Cinco de Mayo Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Jose Cuervo Golden Margarita or Strawberry Golden Margarita, 1.75 liter bottle, $15.99. Estrella Jalisco Mexican Beer, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, $13.99. And El Jimador Silver or Reposado Tequila, 750 milliliter bottle, $14.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. Spring is finally here and just arrived at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company are the many varieties of Weeks roses now in the greenhouse. Also newly arrived in the greenhouse are the annuals, perennials, pansies, hanging baskets, tomatoes, veggies, and a lot more. Shop today where you know this year's growing season will be a plentiful one. From family owned and operated since 1977, Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. Now open 7 days a week all season long. Join in for a festive evening of fun, food, and a live auction in Cheyenne on Monday, May 6th at the historic Little Bear Inn, which is sponsoring the Love Never Forgets Gala to benefit the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. The event is being held to support the services provided on behalf of the nearly 30,000 Wyomingites affected by this relentless form of dementia. For more information, call the Alzheimer's chapter at 316-2892. That's 316-2892. Or visit First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue for your tickets. Remember, at First Tier Bank, you'll find the best rate on a 27-month CD with a 3.10% annual percentage yield.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 60 and winds out the northwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 33. On Saturday, it'll be sunny with highs around 66. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 37.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
All right, a couple things left here in the hour before we get to 4 o'clock. And again, Reed Thompson join us in the 4 o'clock hour special announcement. Headed your way after we get done with our early hour business, including our scoreboard. So we'll have that announcement for you concerning the Cheyenne Stampede.
You might want to tune in for that one.
Yeah, definitely want to hear what we're going to read.
Yeah.
Couple series that are going to be. And I was asked to hold off on this until today, so luckily,
or at least it was embargoed until.
I got wind of this yesterday, but again, I'm going to respect that I was asked to hold off until today, which I will read here coming up, or you can read, Nick. That's fine with me.
Anyways,
let's go back to another Western Conference second round matchup. It will be the Blues and the Stars tonight. This is in St. Louis. Again,
you go off of what this series has been. It's a series of patterns. St. Louis has won game 1. They won game 3. Dallas has won 2 and 4. Here we are, game 5. Plain and simple at home. St. Louis, Yeah, they should. Again, I'm just basing off of
just say they're going to
I'm just
going
off of patterns at this point, where they've gone on the odd side of things. So again, Game 5, and again, even at home though, I think St. Louis, you got to be very confident that they should go up 3-2 in this series. Would not surprise me if this one as well too goes 7 games. Again, we got a lot of great, at least hockey action between these at least 6 teams. Again, barring one other series that we have not talked about, but. But between Dallas and St. Louis, so I mean, we're talking about 2 teams that have just pretty much put their hearts and souls on the ice to get past one another's teams to move on to the Western Conference Finals. Where again, for Dallas, it's been a long time coming, at least getting into the playoffs, but also too getting back to the Western Conference Finals. For St. Louis, a team that in franchise history has never hoisted the Stanley Cup. Again, lots riding, and both teams are kind of playing like that of. Here's our opportunity because we may not get it again.
Well, and
I think that's more so Dallas as well, where again Dallas sneaking in as that other wild card team. Again, certainly playing of hey, we need to put out 110%, or this opportunity that we have that is very special right now may not see it for quite some time.
Here's what I like, and Commissioner Bettman's got to be liking this too, because again, these series are not going for sweep.
Well, there's going to be one.
There's one possibility, but what I'm saying is the other matchups, the second-round matchups, Colorado-San Jose, it's been good viewing. Dallas-St. Louis has been good viewing.
Yeah, for
Columbus-Boston,
I think for San Jose and Colorado last night, I think the NHL came out looking at their PR, saying that it was a 9% increase for just viewership of that game in the Denver market. It did fantastic.
Right.
Again, viewership at least in that series between San Jose and Colorado, which is rightfully so. I think that is. Nothing against Carolina and New York or Dallas and St. Louis, Boston and Columbus, but I think San Jose and Colorado. That is probably the most intriguing matchup. Those are 2 teams absolutely you want to watch and see what's going to happen between those franchises. But and again, fans certainly did tune in for it. Where again, the NHL recognized that and said, "Hey, we saw a big time boost in our numbers."
Right. But what I'm driving at though, Nick, is again when you have playoffs, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, baseball, or hockey, you want to make sure that you've got somebody at least representing, the big metro areas, the Los Angeleses of the world, the Chicagos of the world, New York, maybe New England. So right now, Boston is kind of that last big hub.
In Dallas.
And Dallas, too. Yeah, Dallas, Texas.
You're pulling from a lot in Texas. But again, Dallas is your only NHL franchise.
I know, but Denver is not that big.
It's a fairly large market compared to.
It's not. It's in the top 10. I'll give you that. But what I'm saying is, you got the millions, and then you have a couple 3 million. And again, for right now.
Well, again, your big markets right now are at least remaining San Jose, because again, you're pulling from the Bay Area. That is the Bay Area's team. So Oakland, San Jose, San Francisco. So again, you're pulling in. So that's one big area. Dallas is your only NHL franchise in the state of Texas. So and again, that could be said for whatever. Is Houston or is Austin or is down south in San Antonio really paying attention?
Don't
know at this point, especially where Houston is still remaining in the playoffs. At least in basketball, they probably won't be for long. But you don't know how much of the state of Texas is rallying around the Stars. But in the New York Islanders, again, Islanders are not the big thing.
They're still Manhattan, so it's still Manhattan, New York. Okay.
Well, again, Brooklyn. Again, the island, but it is not the main team.
But
of New York
it's not Buffalo North, and again, this is what I'm saying. It's still the New York hub, all right? Carolina, that would be the representation of both North and South. And again, that's not big markets.
No.
So, again, this is kind of a neat deal because what we're saying is, the Chicagos are not even participating. The Kings in Anaheim are not even in the playoffs.
No.
We're talking big, the New York Rangers, if we're going to go that way. So anyway, whoever comes out of here, the Islanders won't be
even also
here.
too, and I'd be curious to see what the viewership is also too out of the neighbors to the north of Canada. Is Canada watching this?
Yeah, no Montreal, no Winnipeg,
no Toronto.
Toronto, Vancouver. I mean, the entire stretch of Canada.
Yeah, again, has Canada just kind of tuned out and said, who cares? We'll focus on next season. But again, you have a mixture of big and small, but it seems like the small markets right now are doing special things, and that includes right now with the Carolina Hurricanes at home tonight, up 3-0 in the PNC Arena, up against the New York Islanders. Hurricanes at home, it's done. They win. They sweep. Surprising. Very surprising. As I thought, the Islanders had probably the next best shot behind Tampa Bay to represent the East in the NHL, at least Stanley Cup Finals. This is very surprising. I give all credit to Carolina, what they have done. This is a team that kind of banned behind, the motto that was during the regular season I do believe it was either by a beat writer or someone who was making commentary about the Carolina Hurricanes, called them a bunch of jerks. Well, they've kind of rallied around that, and right now these bunch of jerks are on their way, or at least they're one win away from making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, where I would never have said that Carolina was going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals at the beginning of the season, or even entering this playoffs. I didn't think they have a shot to do what they're doing right now. And again, also too, against the New York Islanders, who I thought on paper was a better team, who I thought had the next best shot to represent the East, who I thought was the second best team out of the East. This is very surprising. But Game 4 tonight at home in front of that just unbelievable fan base, Carolina gets it done. Absolutely. Yeah, there is no Game 5.
This would be another shock. The East has been your shocking playoffs thus far. Tampa Bay getting dusted.
Well, this is what you want. If you're Gary Bettman, I think this is very healthy for the NHL, where NBA gets that flack, and obviously with us being fans of the Warriors, we understand. Hey, it's year in and year out. You got the same teams. Even with the NBA Finals, it was Cavs Warriors part 1, 2, 3, 4 going on. But for the NHL, I think for Gary Bettman, where on a fan base side, you got to love this, where you're seeing this fresh blood into at least doing something special in your playoffs. You're not seeing it dominated. The Washington Capitals exited first round from this Carolina Hurricanes.
The defending champion.
Your defending champs are no longer in it. You have possibility of see franchises that are gonna hoist a cup possibly for the first time ever. Right now, I would not be surprised if that NHL front office loves what's going on right now. And I think also too, I think hockey fans in general probably are enjoying this playoffs more than probably in the past, because you do have this fresh new blood. You have interesting, at least, scenarios, teams that you did not expect to be in the positions that they are and doing something very special. Kind of like what we saw last year, where Washington getting over the Schneid, getting their first cup, taking on a Vegas Golden Knights team that was in their inaugural season doing something special that no one anticipated. It's just kind of a continuing trend right now where for me as a hockey fan, especially of the NHL, this has to be doing wonders for the NHL to at least maybe get in these fringe fans who maybe have checked out of the NBA of going, I don't care what the Warriors are doing. I don't care. They're going to win. I'll see what's going on with hockey.
And there's a good point you made, because in the first round of the NBA playoffs, 1 through 4 on both sides. Here,
you had wild cards, all 4.
Yeah, you haven't had a number 1 win. And that's, it's like, okay, wow. We got some changes here. And then you got the defending Stanley Cup champions. They're ousted. Yeah. And it's like, holy cow.
Well, I wonder if this is good and healthy for the NHL to get this fresh blood, to get those fans who have checked out from baseball, who have checked out from NBA or whatever else, and saying, well, I'll watch hockey. Oh, okay, this team's new, or I don't know who they are, or it's not that dominant force that you hear all the time. I would hope that NHL is getting those fans in, or at least this is a nice little shot in the arm for the NHL to at least expand the brand, or at least the league, and say, hey, check out our product. Check out how teams go about it here, where we don't have those repeat performers. It's pretymuch, and what we're seeing so far in the playoffs and even in the second round, everyone and anyone has a shot. Minus the New York Islanders right now, but everyone has a shot to hoist the cup right now.
Well, imagine it is a Columbus and Carolina, just for argument's sake, East Side.
That's good. I like that. I like that matchup.
Yeah, Eastern Finals. I mean, and again, this will be up to the marketing folks of both the National Hockey League and NBC to sell this to the viewers. Again, Columbus, Ohio, it's not a big market. It's not.
You could draw from the state of Ohio. I would not doubt that the Clevelands, the Cincinnatis are going to get on that bandwagon.
Yeah, they can't relate to that. I mean, everybody in Ohio is going to say, "Ooh, whoopee! Columbus is in the
I think they'll rally. I think the state of Ohio would rally because
that's
all you got.
The Carolinas will rally.
I think you get the South. Again, Georgia as well probably get in there. Maybe, not so much Tennessee. Maybe Kentucky
but
might get Columbus.
You might open up some new viewing markets. I'll give you that. I think Tennessee did that with the Nashville Predators.
Yeah.
It opened up some of those fringe markets that were like, who cares? Oh, wow, the Nashville Predators,
Yeah.
Same thing here with, you got to look with the Colorado Avalanche. If the Avalanche can move on to the next round, if they can beat San Jose.
Which they can.
You open up four corners. You open up Wyoming. You open up Colorado. You open up Utah. You open up New Mexico.
Yeah, I think absolutely.
To a certain degree, Nebraska.
You'll get the western side of Nebraska.
Exactly.
The other side might be going to St. Louis if St. Louis moves on. But it certainly does. It does expand out to where, for NHL, they do need to market this very well, especially for those smaller markets with Carolina, with Columbus, with whoever's still remaining in the playoffs, where you do need to get to those outlining kind of fringe areas, whether, up in Columbus where you need to go find those Cleveland fans, those Dayton fans, those Cincinnati, maybe even Northern Kentucky, West Virginia. You need to outreach to them and going, hey, rally around this team because we can't just do it solely here in Columbus. We need your help. Everyone else that might be on the fringe looking in. And hopefully they do. I think right now the NHL absolutely needs to cash in on this opportunity.
Yeah, I think right now the NHL, really, Gary Bettman.
You need to cash in because, again, these playoffs have been very exciting.
Yeah, he's not a stupid man. I think right now he's seeing all of the potential. And I bet you tonight, and I'll bet you tonight, though, he's going to be a big fan of Carolina.
I think a lot of people are right now. Carolina, there's no reason why they lose tonight. There should be no reason why they do not sweep the New York Islanders. This team is red hot at this point. Carolina at home, again, the team that is banded around this mantra, this phrase, and the fan base as well, too. Carolina should be moving on to the Eastern Conference Final.
So, again, if they move on, they'll await the winner of Columbus and Boston, and we'll get a pretty good Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah.
And the West not looking too bad right now, too. And again, if you're an Avalanche fan, definitely want the Avs to move on. It's going to be the best 2 out of 3 in San Jose.
Out of the 8 teams remaining, there is right now, it's hard to select who's going to be hoisted the cup. Everyone has a good shot at this point. Again, minus the New York Islanders, clearly. I don't think they're coming back and winning 4-3, pushing it to Game 7. There's no way that's going to happen. But so out of the 7 teams remaining, anyone has a good shot of winning.
And I said this last week. I said if you are a sports betting place in Vegas, for example, you're making piles of money. Just think about it. I mean, because, again, none of this has gone according to Hoyle. You're also getting series that are extending. So, the sports betting places, the books are going, hey, you know what? We got the over-under on this thing. It's going to go 4. It's going to go 7, whatever the case may be. But
I don't think Vegas could even, right now in the second round, I don't think anyone could predict of what's going on, or at least you couldn't feel confident going in of who's going to win.
Go in the finals, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you get Carolina / Columbus, who's going to win that one?
I really don't know.
Yeah, and
I don't think Columbus or Carolina would sweep. I'd be highly surprised.
I would think on my side over here, if I look at Colorado, St. Louis, I would probably give the nod to the Blues. But I wouldn't take anything away from the Avs.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
San Jose, if they do make the finals, I got to stamp them as the ones that are going to go into the Stanley Cup final.
I would, too. Again, if San Jose can survive getting past Avalanche, where, again, this is a team that is the Sharks, who have been tested by Vegas, getting tested right now by the Avalanche, whoever they face, whether it's Dallas or St. Louis, that's going to probably be another bloodbath. But I think San Jose is building this team up where they are basically preparing themselves to get to the Stanley Cup final. Not necessarily to win the whole thing, but I think it's a team where if they could get past Colorado, you got to feel very confident that they can represent the West in the finals.
Absolutely. All right, we got to move to the top of the hour, and we'll be back with more after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by Mars Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Again, on the job 24/7. Remember, Mars Plumbing and Heating. Whether it's heating, air conditioning, or the ever-lovely water heater decides to poop out on you, you get a hold of Mars, and they will come on by and fix it for you. Mars Plumbing and Heating in Cheyenne. Longtime friends. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Again, fresh is always the key word there. Fresh ingredients to go on their fresh-made dough for their pizzas. Fresh bread for their sandwiches. How about fresh dough for the calzones and all of the fresh ingredients that they put in there? They got strombolis. Oh, I'm telling you, they do it up so delicious all the time, 7 days a week. Mondello's Pizzeria, Paisan cuisine at its best, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. 1508 Stillwater Avenue, across the street is First Tier Bank, and again, offering special rates right now on their 27-month CD. How about 3.1% APY over at First Tier Bank? Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. The Auto Body Shop over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center, you will find over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, you can find Gene and the great staff, as always, on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank. Banking done the old-fashioned way, done the high-technology way, and everything in between. 2 locations to do that type of banking over on Vandehigh, the original location, and, of course, the east side location, corner of College and Pershing. Kick a few tires this weekend. Take a test drive from the Kia family of 2019s, including the Telluride, the newest SUV from Kia, and you are going to be pleasantly surprised and impressed. AJ and the crew say, come on by and see us over on Nation Way, Kia of Cheyenne. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, where it is anniversary week today and tomorrow. 4 years they have been at that special location right across from Menards at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. Today, Sports Jersey Day. Nick wearing the Cheyenne Stampede jersey. Pro Man here with the Rockies jersey. We will go into Chick-fil-A, and they will give us an 8-count chicken nuggets
for free.
Absolutely free.
Mm-hmm.
And you until they shut the doors. So, again, take
or they
advantage
run out
of
of nuggets.
Don't worry. They won't.
All right.
And tomorrow, who's your favorite superhero?
I don't know. Superman, Batman,
Hulk Hogan. Anyway,
sure.
Superhero Day tomorrow. Get a small ice dream cup or cone all day. You know what? Just put a cape around your neck. They'll never know, right?
That's true.
So, again, it's the 4th anniversary celebration going on today and tomorrow, wrapping up a great week over at Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne. And we also want to thank Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. If you're out and about, especially this weekend with nice weather, check out the fine line of Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers on Highway 30. And again, we also want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne. Cinco de Mayo week, all week. And again, today it is the Tres de Mayo, and that still means you will get 5 tacos for $5. 5 soft shells over at all Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway. Our scoreboard, it's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne with Nick.
Regarding at least Cheyenne South for girls soccer coming up at least tonight, at least scheduled for 4 o'clock. Again, that game should be underway for JV's girls soccer. Unfortunately, that game will be shortened due to at least injuries, depleting numbers there at Cheyenne South. So again, the game will still go underway at 4 o'clock, but will be shortened and condensed due to the numbers. And then the varsity game, which is going to at least tentative schedule for 5:30, will still be set. Again, girls varsity soccer there over at Cheyenne South. Again, thank you to AD Mark Pueff for sending over that information. NHL action for tonight. Carolina Hurricanes at home. They'll take on the New York Islanders. Hurricanes lead that series 3-0, and you can see that game on NBC Sports Network. After that game wraps up on NBC Sports Network, St. Louis Blues at home. They will take on the Dallas Stars, where that series is tied up 2 apiece. And again, that game will get up at least after Carolina eventually moves on. That's what's happening. NHL action for tonight.
We move on to the Major League Baseball schedule. 1-game final at Wrigley, an afternoon tilt between the Cardinals and the Cubs, with the Cubs winning 4-0. 5 o'clock games, Twins at the Yankees. Athletics will be at the Pirates. It will be the Rays and the Orioles for this weekend at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Nats and the Phils at Citizens Bank Ballpark. It will be the Royals and the Tigers at Comerica. Mariners at the Indians. Braves will face off with the Marlins at Marlins Park in Miami. Giants and Reds, they will go to Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. 6 o'clock games will have the Blue Jays taking on the Rangers. Red Sox and the White Sox hooking up again at Guaranteed Rate Field. It will be the Mets and the Brewers at Miller Park. 6:40 for the Diamondbacks and the Rockies at Coors Field. Robbie Ray for the D-backs, and it'll be Tyler Anderson. He will be on the bump for the Rocks. And the Dodgers and the Padres wrap things up late tonight at Petco Park, as the Padres will host the Dodgers. NBA action for tonight, and it will not feature the Warriors. Surprise, surprise. It will be the Bucks and the Grizz. That series, the Bucks and the Celtics.
I was going to say, Grizzlies don't even.
Bucks and the Celtics, they are knotted up at 1 game apiece as they head back to the TD Garden, and they will be there for the next 2. And the Nuggets and the Trailblazers in the Moda Center for the next 2. That series also knotted up at 1 game apiece. That'll be an 8:30 tap time tonight from the Pacific Northwest. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a 2-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83. Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
Here, the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, it's already been published on our social media, as Nick had it to be published right at 4 p.m. So as we went to the top of the hour, and a lot of folks that are with us via the radio and also, too, they're keeping abreast on the social media side. So we've already had some reaction. If you're with us,
Periscope, YouTube, however you're tuning in. But
yeah, we've already had some reaction to what was posted. So I always do all the heavies.
Oh,
come on. I always do the reading part because you can't read.
Give me that.
But anyway, I'm going to let Nick go ahead and read exactly what was given to us last night.
We'll preface, again, this is regarding the Cheyenne Stampede. This was a email that was addressed from GM owner Mark Lance, to Ron White, who is the president and commissioner of the Western States Hockey League. This was dated as of for today. Again, was kind of embargoed until 4 o'clock, and again, that's why we're going to address it right now. But in this email that was towards Ron White, it starts with Dear Ron, and again, this is at least quoting from this email from Mark Lance. Again, quote, Dear Ron.
Verbatim, actually.
Yeah. It is with deep tribulation, sadness, and heartbreak I write today. This letter is meant to serve as an official notice of my resignation from the Western States Hockey League and forfeiture of our league license to operate the Cheyenne Stampede Junior A Hockey LLC effective May 16th of 2019. I feel that we lack the commitment and devotion necessary to run a Western States Hockey League team of this caliber without full and unwavering support of our entire ownership group. While I wish my time with the Western States Hockey League was more prosperous, I remain proud of the progress and friends that we have made. And then at least he continues on, if you'd like for me to remain as an executive board member of the Western States Hockey League, I would cherish the opportunity to stay involved with the league. And then, again, that's just the in from GM and owner Mark Lance. Yeah, again, as he talked a little bit more after that. But, again, we posted up that email minus a few personal, at least, notes or at least kind of information to not let that information out in public. But, again, you can read it in full as well, too, on our social media sites, whether it's Wyoming Sports Talk Today or on Twitter at Nick Wild Sports. So,
I guess reaction. Let's get to the reaction portion of the program. And again, if you want to react as well, 514-1071, 307-514-1071.
I think
I'm not surprised.
Not surprised.
I should say I'm not shocked. How's that sound?
That is true, but it does sting a bit. It does hurt. Again, something where even us here, at least with 1480 KRAE Wyoming Sports Talk Today, again, as we've been proud partner with the Cheyenne Stampede, whether it was, again, kind of promoting ticket giveaways, even doing the Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show, where even before I even came here, again, you've had the Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show on beforehand here on 1480 KRAE, and then when I got back, at least revitalized that, especially where we just at least had a full season there, at least with head coach Neil Breen. But what more is there to say at this point in time? Again, it's a tough day.
It's a tough day, and again, we're not going to, I guess, throw every.
You kind of have to bite your tongue on this one, because even thinking, or at least to be honest, with reading this email, and we anticipated the worst that was going to happen. Again, Mark kind of alluded to it, where desperate times called for desperate measures. He needed a quick solution. Did have an understanding that at least the city was going to work and try to alleviate some of the costs, but at least it was a small piece of the puzzle. It was not the big chunk, but it was a small piece to at least get the Stampede back in action for 2019-2020. But again, effective May 16th of this year, again, a few days from now, 13 days, the Stampede no longer exists. That license is done. Stampede hockey,
history.
There is no hockey anymore in Cheyenne.
So,
and it's
the last remaining franchise is now toast.
We here in the city of Cheyenne, we've seen Cheyenne Grizzlies go bye-bye. Baseball. The collegiate team. The arena team go bye-bye. Yeah, well, I don't even think it had a shot, but now here we are with hockey, and now, again, where it was on the vein of minor league hockey, but not so much. Again, these were, what hurts more about this of seeing the Stampede go away, and again, where we push and coaches push, and what we kind of at least do on the show here is we try to get these folks out in front of center, because again, they're in their early stages of creating lives for themselves. They're trying to do the bigger and better things. These were high schoolers and early collegiate players for the Cheyenne Stampede. Mixture of local products and from the area, if not international, where their goal was to play hockey and move on to bigger and better things in their lives. Again, where they're still young. We're not talking semi-pro. We're talking these were kids that had goals and ambitions to move to bigger and better things, and they were doing it here in the city of Cheyenne, playing for the Stampede.
And also, too, blame can be shouldered by everybody.
There's a lot. Blame goes everywhere.
It goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And again, this, and you and myself were talking about this before we went on the air this afternoon. This is why I don't think minor league baseball coming to Cheyenne will ever succeed.
That Expedition League with the Casper Horseheads and those baseball teams, I don't think it'd be smart to bring a franchise down here. I think, honestly, for that ownership group that does own, for instance, we've talked with that entity, going to hopefully talk with him once again, but I would not doubt that they have looked into the Cheyenne market and realized it's not feasible, and why even do it? Why even entertain coming down here to open up a new franchise? Because it seems like whatever comes to town eventually just dies a slow death.
Yeah, it dies a slow death, and again, do the Stampede have to win every game to to generate the fan base?
I think absolutely. You got to Stampede, because as much
the last 2 seasons have been tough, and the fan base kind of dwindled.
You had your core fans, and again, I'll give them credit where they were through the thick and the thin. You needed more of that, though. The Stampede, plain and simple, needed more of those core group of fans to support them through the thick and thin. They couldn't.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. And here we are now where, you didn't support them, and here we are, you get no hockey at all now. Yeah. You get nothing.
Oh,
so now that Ice and Event Center is dead.
Event, well, yeah, but you go to the Budweiser Center now.
You could go right ahead. I think absolutely if you could find tickets for the Colorado Eagles, because
I'm just saying
they sell out pretty fast. So I doubt that.
Because there's nobody in the area right now. Laramie doesn't have hockey.
The closest team that you have is down in Greeley with the Northern Colorado Eagles in the Western States Hockey League. Other than that is the Steamboat. And yeah, even Casper is kind of on the fringe right now of a franchise in the Western States Hockey League. But it is something where it is not sold to blame on the city, at least the government.
No.
City of Cheyenne, that base, they were working with them, but again, they do foot some.
They do. They definitely will foot some of the blame on this because of what transpired from last year.
Yeah.
Where the Stampede ownership was backed into a corner with a new contract.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay X amount more, but you're not going to have this. Mm-hmm. And again, that cut into the pocketbook.
What this tells me is, if you want to start a sports franchise out here, whether it's minor league, junior A hockey, whatever it may be, you better come in with the expectation of, if you're going to start off rough or have a losing season, you better have kind of monies in the back end to bolster where lack of audience is not going to be there. Or either you need to put on a winning product here and now and continue that tradition, because it's something that, hate to kind of repeat myself and be that entity here on Wyoming Sports Talk today and be that realist, but we are amongst a fan base, and we see it over in Laramie. We've talked about it. They recognize this as well, too. You are in front of a fickle fan base that cares when you win, and if you're not, they're not going to show up. And that's their right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that is their right.
If they start winning, everybody becomes a fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, too,
it happens.
I look back on when the Lances made the first announcement, because I was there with former Mayor Rick Kaysen as we were at the Ice and Event Center to introduce this new program. And to be real honest, and I knew that Mark's sons were involved with the program. One was playing, and one was
Heath was an assistant coach, and again,
but Heath was a player.
Well, he was a player, and then eventually as an assistant coach.
I'm not. And Mark, forgive me if my mind does not remember all of it, but I'm not sure Matt was in his final or his aged out year. But anyway, the bottom line was, I figured with the Lances that they were going to at least keep this program running about 3-4 years, when the kids finally aged out, because, they eventually became grandparents through all of this.
Well, it seemed like
the kids got married.
Yeah, when we talked with Mark about a few months ago, where he gave us the release, or at least his thoughts on basically saying he was going to step away from the team and put it up for sale, it kind of had the indication of he was thinking about it, but this kind of rushed his hand to do it now, instead of where, as you're talking about, 3 or 4 years from now to maybe step away. It was his intention, as he mentioned with us on the show, again, about a few months ago, that, yes, he does want to step away, and he wanted to kind of retire since, again, let the franchise still exist here, but have new ownership to take care of it and kind of bolster it up into a respectable franchise here in the city of Cheyenne. So, but, yeah, you wonder if what's happened recently, where we talked months ago, where that kind of forced his hand to go, okay, now I need to put up the team for sale because I just can't afford it right now. I can't do what's happening right now due to the past 2 seasons where, yes, it's been rough. It has been rough, absolutely. We get that, where that team had to go from rebuild, where in one season they had to deal with coaching changes, again, where they finally sat with head coach Neil Breen, who was trying to build it and built it in a positive direction. Again, there were a lot of firsts in this past season where it showed that this team was headed upwards. It was going to take a while, but they were headed in the good direction.
Well, and again, too, it's like, and again, apples and oranges sometimes, but, I don't turn the lights on here every day to lose money. If it wasn't for our great advertisers, our sponsors, I'm going to be just drained.
No one wants to be in debt, and I think I don't blame Mark.
Same thing with Mark. In addition to owning this, which was a great thing to do, I mean,
it was his passion.
Yeah, he didn't get into it though to just get clobbered financially.
Yeah,
and again too, these young men that came to our city, they also had to pony up to the bar too. They had to pay for ice time. Yeah. They had to pay for the host families to take care of them.
And we're not making excuses. Those players get it. They get into hockey and they know that.
And
those families do it too.
These families know that it comes with a price tag. And again, too,
but all this team is asking, though, however, is for fans to show up and support them, though.
Yeah,
come to the ice and event center and show up and buy some merchandise, or again, just buy a hot dog there or buy a ticket and just watch them
and
support
again, too.
Support them through thick and thin.
They needed to advertise. They need advertisers too.
Yeah,
sponsors. Well, that kind of got a little cut from them this year. Ice time went up. And this is the thing that really freaked out a lot of people, and I don't use the word freaked out, but kind of made us raise our eyebrow. Was like, why raise the ice time when it's dormant time?
It's going to be dormant now, and I think the city is going to realize that at this point where, you're going to be without the Cheyenne Stampede.
Hey, if it's not a moneymaker now, it definitely isn't going to be a moneymaker beginning in August.
Yeah, what do you do now? You got nothing now between those times where, again, during the school year.
You only have so many home and garden shows.
Yeah.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe we have a phone call.
Yeah, we do have a phone call. So we'll get to it now, and then we have our next guest.
Okay, well, let's take a quick call here, and we will welcome you on to Wyoming Sports Talk today. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We're doing well. What can we do for you today?
Well, this is Vicki Soper.
Okay.
And this is really a sad day for all of us, but I do want to let the Lances know that as supporters of the team and solid fans, that we adore them. We love what they did bring with the Stampede, and that's about all. I just wanted them to know that they're not alone. They do have a big, solid fan base, and all of us that went every weekend and billeted those boys and everything else. It is sad for all of us, but they're not alone, and we think it stinks, and maybe, I don't know,
all right,
we can do something better.
All righty, Vicki. Well, thank you, and I'm sure the Lances appreciate all that you have done with your time with them and being one of those billet families.
Like I said, there was a good core. There was a good core.
Well, no, but I mean, a tip of the cap to her, too.
Yeah.
And I had a season where I had not one but two kids.
Yeah.
With both you and your sister moved out, you were, I think, either in Vegas.
It doesn't matter at this point.
But and Marissa was off at the Air Force.
Anyways.
So my point is, I had that opportunity to billet a couple of kids through that time. Unfortunately, then I got sick the next year, so I wasn't able to be a billet family. But
but again, even with not even doing billet family, again, not saying if you didn't billet that you were against. Again, you could have showed your support. Again, there was a fair amount that stuck through the thick and thin with the Cheyenne Stampede. Again, even with us having the coaches show, again, getting Neil Breen out there, getting these players out there, where something that you kind of even alluded to and talked about of, well, maybe the fan base doesn't revolve around the Stampede because they can't connect with the kids because they're not local kids. Well, again, with the coaches show, hey, let's put them out there front and center to get folks to know and get to know these players, so to speak. And, what has happened today, or at least with this coming out right now, again, where it is now official, it is Cheyenne Stampede hockey is done. We have no more hockey here in the city of Cheyenne, at least in the Western States Hockey League.
The word
Junior
is
A.
dormant.
No, it's done.
Well, it says here dormant.
Well, either way, though, I mean, again, this shows that hockey is not going to happen next year or for the foreseeable future.
And again, too, now you kind of throw it back into the city where you said, hey, it wasn't a moneymaker, and for the city, and the city's getting tired of pumping money.
I guess the mayor got her thing then.
Let me finish. So the city was going, hey, this is not a big moneymaker, and okay, now you've got income that is not going to be used or available to you for practice times.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have income for those nighttime games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So maybe you keep the rink open on Friday, Saturday, and you get X more skaters on the ice. I don't know. But the thing is,
I doubt it's anything that's going to be as close.
That's right. I have a feeling that when it comes right down to it, some of the verbiage that might have been expressed before is going to come back and bite you.
I think
and now the city has nothing.
I think this bites the city as well too, and again, this administration right now that kind of butted heads as well too with the Cheyenne Stampede. This proves to be very bad in the long run as well for franchises. Maybe you are scouting or at least trying to replace the Stampede right now at the Ice Event Center, where hey, come play hockey where it's free for you guys to do it now, but it might sour that taste of maybe that franchise or at least that potential owner who comes in and realizes what has happened. Hey, I'm not going to touch Cheyenne. I saw what happened to that. Yeah. What happened with that team. It's going to happen to me as well. I'm not going to give you that opportunity. I think right now what this is a black eye for the city of Cheyenne. We're again for opportunities.
And remember
opportunities for recreation athletics is now become very sour.
I know you used the word free. There's no way city's ever going to offer anything free.
No, I didn't mean free. I'm just saying here's this opportunity here. Again, if you want to come in and be a franchise, and obviously you're going to pay your way, they're going to obviously get that. But this is something that I think in the long run is going to start souring things coming to the city of Cheyenne, where we're talking about opportunities, getting these bare-knuckle events, getting these athletics and recreation opportunities. It's going bye-bye.
You don't even need to sell me. We can't even support a damn rec center.
Yeah.
A city rec center.
Yeah.
And again, we've had we've had the Ty Lanes of the world come in. We've also had Adam Galisi come in. That's just one portion of a rec center.
Yeah.
Okay? Then, these are for our kids. I don't have a dog in the fight anymore. You're grown up. My daughter is married. But again, we don't have anywhere to do we can't conduct any business inside.
Yeah.
Because, sorry, Mother Nature still sucks up in this part of the world,
Absolutely.
even in May.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, I don't have to worry about it. The city's got to live with it. I don't. Okay?
Again,
Mark Lance is always going to be a friend of mine.
Oh, yeah.
So Mark and Tammy are always going to be my friends.
Oh, yeah.
What they did was admirable. They tried. Hey, they probably would say the same thing about me if I decide to shut my doors because, hey, if you're not making it, you might as well step away from it.
Yeah.
And that's, I felt that way many times. Like, I don't need this anymore. I've been in this business 40 years.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I tip my cap to the Lancers. They tried.
Yeah. They tried.
And it's almost like they were the captain of the Titanic.
Yeah, at this point in time. And if anything, right now for the city of Cheyenne, though, as a whole, and it's not just the government, it is just the city encompassing with recreations and athletics, this is a black eye. If we want more opportunities for athletics, for minor league teams, for anything new to come to Cheyenne to kind of keep us occupied, have fun, avoid from going down to Loveland, down to Denver to get into those opportunities, going over to Laramie to do whatever, again, to stay in town, keep that money here in town. Well, I think this is a slow slope downwards of saying that's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen.
I've been here since
if I'm a smart business owner and I got a franchise, I'm not bringing it to Cheyenne at this point.
Well, the same thing, too. I've been here since 86, and since the day I stepped in this town, I've always harped on local. Shop local, do your business.
It doesn't mean anything at this point right now.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
That's just it. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. A lot don't care.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's not say all.
There is a few that care. I'm not even sure if that administration even knows what doing local is all about.
I don't think so.
And
I really don't.
You got some people that are on staff that have no clue about local.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got to take a timeout, and again,
we'll talk about one of those local teams. At least.
It's a sad day here, and
it's frustrating.
We're frustrated,
yeah.
But be that as it may, I wish all the best to Mark and Tammy, and now they got that opportunity to spend more time with their family and their grandchildren.
Mark can go up to Alaska now and all of that fun.
Go fishing and have a good time. All right, we'll be back. Our next guest is here in the building, and we will talk with Reed Thompson after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480KRAE.com.
Are you thinking about buying a new water heater? You could spend $1,300 or more on a gas-fired water heater. Or you could spend $0 on a top-of-the-line electric water heater from High West Energy. That's right, $0. High West members can upgrade from gas to electric without spending a penny. Don't you wish all decisions were this easy? Go to highwestenergy.com to learn more or call 307-245-3261. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
In order to improve yourself, it's important you never settle for less. Just like Cinco de Mayo at Taco John's. You can get 5 soft-shell tacos for just $5 for 5 whole days. Why settle for one Cinco de Mayo when you can have Cinco de Mayo?
Celebrate 5 days of Cinco de Mayo at Taco John's with 5 beef soft-shell tacos for just $5. Get 5 beef soft-shell tacos for just $5 for 5 days from May 1st through the 5th. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Join in for a festive evening of fun, food, and a live auction in Cheyenne on Monday, May 6th at the historic Little Bear Inn, which is sponsoring the Love Never Forgets Gala to benefit the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. The event is being held to support the services provided on behalf of the nearly 30,000 Wyomingites affected by this relentless form of dementia. For more information, call the Alzheimer's chapter at 316-2892. That's 316-2892. Or visit First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue for your tickets. Remember, at First Tier Bank, you'll find the best rate on a 27-month CD with a 3.10% annual percentage yield.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 60 and winds out the northwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 33. On Saturday, it'll be sunny with highs around 66. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 37.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perlwetty along with Nick Perlwetty. We bring on our next guest, Reed Thompson. Reed, I take a look at you, and I'm reminded of myself back in the days when I was living in Chico, California, when I was managing the B Legion team, then moving up to the Legion team, and I was all about 24, 25 years old. But here you are, former player.
I was going to say, are you doing the same thing as him as he's traveling? He's he's going from Laramie to here as well too to get at least involved with the
No, I was in the same town. I didn't have to do all that travel stuff. But the thing is, though, like I said, I look at him and you're in that perfect that age group because again, you still have that relatability to the young men. So and you know what I'm driving at here, but you have to be enjoying now being an assistant coach here with a program that is very true to your heart.
Right, absolutely. And first of all, I want to thank you guys both for having me out here and your continued support of Mustangs baseball. We really appreciate it. But you're right, it's fun being younger, being close to these guys' age. I can kind of joke around with them a little bit. We can have some fun and get better. And I can learn a lot from them. They can learn a lot from me, and we get to grow together. So it's something I really enjoy.
Now, last season was a season that will be remembered. I mean, it was
historic.
It was kick butt, take names last year, and that one will be for the records. Hopefully, whatever team, maybe this group of guys, as they, age maybe 1 or 2 more years, they might be that group. But you lost a lot to quote graduation or aging out. And again, this is a younger group, so the maturity level now needs to kick into place real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had a lot of talks with them about kind of growing up and filling those varsity shoes and how it changes a little bit when you get to the varsity level. The amount of seriousness that you have to bring to the field every day and kind of the professional type mentality you bring to the field every day increases for sure. And it's something they're going to have to learn as we progress through this season.
Now, baseball is baseball. And again, you can go to the batting cages and, go hit 45 balls, $3 worth, which I'm going to do when I get off. Or, you can try to get outside when you can. You can try to do stuff indoors. Again, we're kind of limited when weather gets lousy like it was. So, again, we had Adam in here. We've had Ty in here. What is the alternative for the Mustangs when the weather – and you're driving this stuff too, so you're relating to what I'm talking about. What do you guys do in situations where Mother Nature says, not going to happen?
Right. Well, we're very fortunate to have an extremely nice indoor facility out north of town that is available to us. We can get in there and we can do a whole bunch of work in the cages to get as many swings in as we can. It's actually easier for us to get swings in there. So in the off season, we're very fortunate to have that. We can make a lot of improvements offensively when the weather's crappy outside and keeps us from falling too far behind teams that are further south of us that we run into during the season.
Well, this weekend you'll be seeing a Rapid City team coming up there at Pioneer Park where they've dealt with the weather as well too, so they might be a little bit behind the schneid. But looking before at least this weekend, but going back to last weekend, we're getting a few contests on the road up in Casper and also 2 at home at Powers Field against the Casper Crush, a team that you've seen plenty so far here early in the season, but kind of a rough go of it against the Casper Crush, a very good outfit, a team that we talked with Rick before was, a team that was anticipated to do what the Mustangs did last year. But what were kind of your takeaways so far of these past weekend games against the Casper Crush? They're at their home turf and then down here in the city of Cheyenne.
Yeah, right. Casper's done a tremendous job with what they've done with their organization over the last couple of years. They built a phenomenal team up there. I don't know if you guys remember, but one of our 7 losses last year was to that team, and they brought everybody back. I think they lost maybe 1 or 2 guys. So they're a very experienced team, a very talented team. So, you go on the road up there, and even when they come here, you're doing all you can just to give yourself a chance to win at the end. And, unfortunately, they just overmatched us. Gave them too many walks and a few extra bases defensively that you just can't do against a team that good. But it's good for our young players to get out and see that kind of competition early in the season. So, they know what's coming next. So
in some of these early contests that I've seen of the Cheyenne Mustangs, where again this team, at least the Mustangs, very young, but they show they're kind of diamonds in the rough, so to speak, where they show, hey, we have talent there, but again it's just kind of working out the kinks, trying to put the pieces in the right slot right now. But would you kind of agree right now of this season for the Cheyenne Mustangs, especially here early on, it's kind of a kind of feeling out process, just trying to get techniques and get at least things kind of organized right now for the Mustangs to eventually go through your growing pains, and then throughout the season, bigger and better things will come for the Cheyenne Mustangs.
Yeah, a lot of that's, teaching these kids what a varsity practice looks like. What goes on in varsity practice, the kind of level and intensity you have to bring for 2.5 hour practice every single day. I mean, they're not getting 3-4 days off a week. This is every day, so that kind of adjustment has been something they're going to have to adjust to. And now that we're getting outside, and Shellen will be here in less than 2 weeks, and they're getting out of school, we'll be able to put a little bit more time in and work on a little bit more of the fundamentals and clean up some of the defensive stuff that we've been struggling with.
Obviously, you keep in touch with Sheldon, so and I'm sure he's been able to view whatever opportunities arose. But in your assessment, and we'll take it individually here. This is not a knock on any of the young men, because we know they're giving their 100%. Weaknesses right now. Where are we showing some weaknesses? Let's go first with pitching. Is it starting? Is it relief? What are you seeing right now in the pitching? Are we seeing that it's improving with more repetitions?
The pitching is definitely improving, but it's early on. Too many balls, falling behind in too many counts, and you fall behind 2-0 to a varsity hitter, and they know a fastball's coming. They're going to tee off on that. So getting back ahead in the counts, not walking guys is probably our biggest Achilles heel on the mound right now. But that's something, that's not a huge talent thing. That's just something they need to work on and grow from.
What about defense? Again, as we go all around the infield and we take it to the outfield, are we seeing a group of 8 right now that's catching your eye, that's going to be pretty solid for you?
Yeah, we're still moving guys around quite a bit and giving everybody their opportunities. Is still early, so as we progress more, we might solidify that lineup. But with how young this team is, it's good to get everybody reps and get their work in so they can keep growing.
And then on the offensive side, obviously stepping up to the plate. Again, a lot of these guys are seeing some pretty intense pitchers. Again, like you said, these are varsity guys, and some of these guys making their first appearance on the varsity level. So are we behind a little bit? I would think at this time of year, offense might be a little ahead of pitching.
Yeah, the speed of the game is definitely an adjustment for them. They're getting a lot better, though. We had that snowstorm this week, so we went inside, like I mentioned, and put them on the pitching machine, cranked the velocity up, and made them compete in there and speed their bats up a little bit. And then we got outside yesterday and had much better batting practice. So it'll be an adjustment. Baseball's a game of adjustments, and they'll just have to keep making adjustments one by one.
Coming up this weekend, again, Cheyenne Mustangs back in town over at Pioneer Park. On Saturday, they'll be taking on Rapid City Post 320. Again, those game times will be 2 and 4 o'clock. And then Sunday on Cinco de Mayo, back at Pioneer Park, 10 a.m. against Rapid City Post 320. So, again, you'll see Rapid City 3 times this weekend. Give us a little scouting report on what to expect out of Rapid City. What do we expect from Rapid City coming into town this weekend?
Right, so I don't know a whole lot about what they have this year. I know they've been doing a good job with their organization up there as well, and they've been good these last couple of years when we played them. So it'll be another good test for our guys to play a couple more games at home.
And in addition to, that's the correct me if I'm wrong, the third outfit that comes out of Rapid City, right? There's Post 722 and 320. So again. Yep. A place that really takes their baseball very seriously, like we are trying to do here in Cheyenne. Mm-hmm. So again, with Sheldon not being here again, and you are running the ball club, and again you've been getting some outside help, and that's great too, because sometimes as you're fighting out, it's really difficult, and you also need that helping hand. But again, things that you learned from Pops.
Oh, he's taught me so much about the game of baseball since I was playing and now coaching. It's hard to pick just one thing, but
now that you're in the administrative part, how's that
the administrative part, I'd say the culture and the discipline that he's instilled in the program and how to continue that trend, having a winning culture. There's a lot to be said about that, and he's done a good job of that when he was coaching and showed me how to continue that. So hopefully that's something we can carry into future Mustangs teams.
Absolutely. And again, reminding folks, go support the Cheyenne Mustangs this weekend again, as they'll be over at Pioneer Park. 3 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 and 4 o'clock. And then also, too, again, a Monday, or at least Sunday morning contest at 10 a.m. Again, all against Rapid City over at Pioneer Park. So, again, go support the Cheyenne Mustangs.
Reed, I want to thank you so much. Continued success, and hopefully you guys will not be strangers and come back on the program from time to time. Hopefully we'll get a chance to meet some of your team as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me out.
Reed Thompson joining us here on 1480 KRAE. Take a time out. We'll come back. We'll get ready to wrap things up here on Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit, so you can bank how you want when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 60 and winds out the northwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 33. On Saturday, it'll be sunny with highs around 66. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 37.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We are into the home stretch of our program.
Again, appreciate Reed Thompson coming in. First time we've chatted with him
Yeah.
since, again, Pops is retired, at least no longer as his manager. So, again, we'll get, at least we want to get Cheyenne Mustangs in here to, again, keep all equal coverage of, again, Extreme, Post 6, and the Cheyenne Mustangs. And, again, Mustangs in action this weekend. Please go support the team as we went on a rant about the, at least with the Stampede. You got to do it for the Mustangs, for the Extreme, and the Post 6 as well, too. So please support your local teams.
Yes. And, what I saw Reed here, and I got a couple new bats that came in today. I'm going to go test them out here real quick. I'm going to go up and do a little hitting when I get off the air.
I'm going to whack you. Anyways,
you know what? You may.
I'm surprised.
I'm
surprised you could even lift the bat.
You may get out of the building here in one piece.
Faster than
let's see. Me.
Yeah.
And again, you all sponge your way into.
I don't sponge anything.
Any event.
You didn't get any one of these jerseys in here. I've done everything. I've done all your social media. I've done.
That's mine.
Nothing else.
These are all mine.
Your stupid little helmets, who cares? Again, everything else, but I've done everything. But speaking about what's also happening this weekend on the local side, something that we will be live streaming, or at least myself, you'll be hosting it, but it will be the 2018-2019 Guestby Awards and Banquet happening over on the campus of LCCC regarding at least the LCCC student athletes. Again, it will be starting, or at least underway, at 3 o'clock. It looks like the main festivities is 3:30 with everything from a season recaps and sophomore recognition from the head coaches, whether it is Brian Ortmeyer for women's basketball at LCCC, Vince Gibson with men's soccer, Seth Glaus with rodeo, Kerry Coates, new volleyball head coach, Jason Ficca of men's basketball, and Jim Garner of the women's soccer program there at LCCC. Again, they will all be speaking on behalf of their teams and their sophomores. And then also, too, there will be at least most valuable staff and faculty address as well. And then we will get into awards, nominees and winners as well. For instance, like male athlete of the year, female athlete of the year, freshman of the year, sophomore of the year, team of the year, spirit of service award, academic team of the year, and the ultimate Eagle Award. Again, this is all regarding LCCC, their athletes, and those teams happening there at LCCC. So again, tune in. We'll be live streaming it coming up this Saturday.
Especially for those that can't be in attendance.
Like, for instance, again, David Applegren's parents who do tune in, they're all the way in Sweden, and I don't think they're traveling out to Cheyenne.
Not for the Guestbys?
I don't think so.
Not to see me host the Guestbys? Oh, jeez. Tell you, tough crowd.
They like you, but probably not that much.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of doing a lot of public events now, but I'm getting more and more.
Boo-hoo.
No, I just,
I made you do it.
Yeah, the facial features just don't make me want to go out and do public events, but I will be there.
You're going to do it. Either way, though, again, coming up Sunday, May 5th, we'll be live streaming it, and that will be on the Periscope side where you can find at Nick Weil Sports, which is my Twitter account, which you can follow, please. And then also, too, we'll be live streaming on 1480 KRAE, the YouTube channel, which we do ask you to please subscribe as well, too, which, again, it is a free service that we are offering, again, for those folks who are interested about this banquet and cannot attend, whether it is friends, family, whoever. Again, if you are interested, please tune in to this live presentation coming up, again, starting around 3 o'clock this Sunday.
All right, before we step out of here, and I know Nick wasn't all that fired up about it, but
what?
I do want to mention this, that the Cowboys have released their television schedule, and half of their games are going to be on TV.
Rah.
Now, I know one of them for sure was going to be on TV because
Mizzou?
No, Boise State. They've got to deal with ESPN. They're going to make some money off of this thing. But Missouri, by the way, as you mentioned, half of the schedule is going to be on TV. This one has been listed as a time already, 5:30, and that will be, again, that's a 5:30 Mountain Time start at UW, and it will be on the CBS Sports Network.
For what, Missouri? You didn't specify. You've kind of been all over the place.
Missouri and the Cowboys.
There you go.
At UW, 5:30 on the CBS Sports Network. Another televised game will be UNLV.
Really?
That will be on the ESPN family of networks.
Probably that's a U1 or a 3.
Probably a U.
Maybe.
That will be on September 28th.
No love for Idaho? No Idaho Vandals?
No. Okay. On October 12th at San Diego State, 8:30 p.m. kickoff. That will be on the CBS Sports Network. So those are 3 of the games.
Rah.
Then Boise State on November 9th. That will be at Albertson Stadium on the Smurf Turf. You don't want to go there. You couldn't even say your name right. That will be.
I said it perfectly fine.
Remember when you were talking to McGlue?
It wasn't heard on air, so.
All right, anyway, at Boise State, that will be on the ESPN networks. That will be at least on the Deuce.
Great.
Utah State the next week also will be on the ESPN networks. That might be, depending on Utah State's rise in the mountain.
They should. They should be.
That could also be back-to-back deuces right there. And already scheduled for ESPN The Deuce. So 3 straight weekends. The Cowboys are going to be on ESPN. And they'll have Colorado State, which they host on November 22nd. That's going to be a cold night. 7:30 over at UW. So those are your 6 televised games. Missouri, UNLV, at San Diego State, at Boise State, at Utah State, and Colorado State. 6 half a dozen games.
There you go. So 6 reasons why fans don't have to show up to some of those home games or for whatever reason. But
at least 3 of them.
I guess. Either way, though, again, there is that information. But again, we'll see what happens throughout the Cowboys season this upcoming year. Again, you know our thoughts on it, or at least mine, about this Cowboys team, where it might be another long season for the Wyoming Cowboys.
Yeah, it could be a really, really tough season. Anyway, we're about ready to wrap things up here. We got a few minutes left. Do want to thank Kevin McGlue, who joined us earlier from the Colorado Eagles, as their season is over. But again, first year as they moved up to the AAA affiliate of the Avalanche, as they got into the playoffs and got in as that number 4 seed.
Out of the Pacific, yeah.
Out of the Pacific, and had to go up against the Bakersfield Condors. And again, they won 1 out of 4, so they split, correct me if I'm wrong, at level, and they got swept
there you
in
go.
Bakersfield.
As a best-of-5 series.
So their season is over. We just had most recently on Reed Thompson from the Cheyenne Mustangs, who will be in action this weekend as they host Post 320 out of Rapid City. Obviously, the big news, and again, we're going to just review it real quick here, the Cheyenne Stampede franchise in Cheyenne is no more.
Yeah, it's official as of today, as of 4 o'clock today, that, again, license is put up. Resignation has been put up by owner GM Mark Lentz. Cheyenne Stampede, after, again, do believe 8 seasons, again, has come to an end. And that is kind of at least kind of the big thing, something to think about over this next weekend, into next week. Everything that we talked about, getting Eric Fountain on, getting GM Mark Lentz on, and talking about where the future of the franchise was going to be, well, it's official. It's, again, no more hockey here, at least on the Western States Junior A level.
Right.
There's no more hockey.
Yeah, I think you still have the local program.
You'll have the Capitals, yeah, but at least for the locally owned product. Again,
no more franchises here in Cheyenne. Again, we've lost the likes of the Grizzlies. When Ron Cayley had that franchise and for many years. And again,
it proves to me that the city doesn't deserve them. It really doesn't.
The city doesn't support. So again, you can't throw all of that on city government. So that's I'm trying to say.
They're at some fault.
We, the people, did not support these entities. And again, if you don't want to support it,
not all.
Don't gripe and moan about it.
Not gonna say at least all, or at least encompass everyone into that. But again, there was a good amount that did not show their support, did not give their respect, and this is where we're at right now. Where I think this is a slippery
slope,
absolutely downwards for the city of Cheyenne. I don't. Do we get any more athletics or recreation?
How do you sell it? How do you sell this city?
You don't. I really
don't. Because again,
don't.
you can't sell if you are a prospective buyer, so to speak, and you're looky-looing here in Cheyenne.
Yeah.
You can't show them numbers because the support isn't there.
Yeah. And again, going back to that infamous article, which I still have here in the KRAE studios, and I'll never get rid of that because, again, where she acted completely out of line.
The mayor.
Yeah, at least Madam Mayor Orr acted completely out of order of what her comments were about the Cheyenne Stampede. I'll keep that until, that 2020 year. But, again, where any potential franchise or anything that wants to come to town, I mean, let's be honest, they're gonna really think.
And let's
it.
go back to one of the key things that Mark said. We can build winners. We can buy winners. We can buy championships.
You need a lot of money for that.
But that's what Ogden is doing, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Outliers are doing.
Yeah.
In Utah, they are buying big players. Same, even the Casper franchise did a couple seasons back. We have been a developmental team of these kids, trying to, get these kids to better themselves to move on to the next level. Well, you know what? If I remember what Mark said on that, these guys spent piles of money to bring in these bigger kids, these stronger and faster kids.
All right.
Well, again, everything costs money.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the cash or you don't have the financial backing or support, you can't do.
I think the wrap up of this conversation around the Cheyenne Stampede is just drive around downtown Cheyenne, and you have my answer of things. Does this city really care? I don't think so. I really don't. It is plain and simple. And again, this is us just kind of being open, opinionated. Again, this is just pure frustration of what's going on right now. Just things that have kind of built up.
Hey,
at this
enjoy
point.
your Friday nights on the plaza. That's coming up, and that's all exciting, And
where do you go after? Where do you go afterwards? I don't know.
And me, I'm going to go out to a ballpark. I'm going to go watch our youth play baseball because they're more entertaining than some of the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
All right. With that all being said, and again, our frustration as well too with a lot of those folks from the Stampede. It's just I've been here long enough, Nick, and I've been through enough frustrating answers to very easy questions.
Like I said, just drive around downtown, and you know my opinion of how things are kind of operating in this town. Well, a lot of empty in that downtown area. Not a whole lot of small businesses surviving in this town right now.
Yeah, but not a lot of effort to build anything really nice either.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We'll just leave it decrepit.
That's right. Again, hey, we're the Old West.
Let's keep it the Old West. Let's go back.
It's all about
unpave those streets, keep it gravel.
I don't mean that in any disrespect to CFT, but that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
They got the big event place out there at Frontier Park. So be it. Every July, we'll have fun for 10 whole days. All right. With that all being said, have a wonderful weekend.
We'll
have a wonderful weekend. Leave it at that. We're going to say bye-bye. It's 5 p.m.
I still got to do my thing.
I know, but I want to remind everybody that we've got the best